What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ross back at again with another video. So I want to check out why WWE has killed Charlotte Flair. Now, she did have a promo segment on SmackDown, and the reception to her being out there was kind of more on the positive side. She wasn't getting as booed as much, but she was getting some boos. But she kind of played I guess you could say, her heel persona a little bit more. And I wouldn't even say like full heel. I would say more like the cocky individual. Like they know they're good. They know they're solidified. They know they're at the top of the card. So she was kind of playing that a little bit more, which honestly, Charlotte as a heel just works. It just works. Just like her father was, primarily a heel, but he was cocky. He was entertaining. He would cheat to win at times. That's kind of what Charlotte needs to be. Honestly, be that cocky individual that people will woo and people will, show love when you have a great classic match or a great match in general. But at the end of the day, she plays better as, I'm a Flair. I'm better than everybody else here. Everybody knows this, and kind of go from that aspect. So I think that's kind of what she did yesterday on SmackDown. But we'll see how things transpire heading into WrestleMania. Appreciate all love, support. Let's get right into this, man.
We have no problem in saying that WWE just chose the worst winner of the Royal Rumble ever. In turn, have WWE killed off Charlotte Flair? Has history just repeated itself and WWE has made the worst decision ever again? Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL.
Very interesting question and point that he brings up.
Why did WWE think that Charlotte Flair was the best choice for a winner for the 2025 Rumble? Firstly, let's look at the big win. Now, heading into the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble, Charlotte Flair and Io Sky were the odds-on favorites to win the match. But when it came to Flair, she was set to return at the show, and with her rumored for a major matchup at WrestleMania 41, it seemed logical for her to win the matchup. It was reported for weeks before the show that Flair was likely to win, and WWE didn't seem to have any interest in going in an alternative direction. In relation to Io Sky, she's considered one of the greatest workers in the entire company, and a match with Rhea Ripley had already been building on TV. Sky was definitely the fan favorite to win the match, and her not winning has without question impacted the negative reaction of the match itself. It also hadn't helped that Sky, along with names such as Bianca Belair, were eliminated in one of the worst spots in Rumble history.
Yeah, that spot was dumb, bro. They eliminated legitimately a lot of the people that you thought could possibly win or could buy into it. They didn't build up to it. That's like in the Men's Royal Rumble, you have John Cena, you have Edge. Not Edge. My bad. You have John Cena, you have CM Punk, you have Seth Rollins, you have Roman Reigns, you have Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker. You have all these guys teetering on the edge, and then you have Braun Strowman just eliminate all of them. Just right there. You'd be like, wait, what? It doesn't come off as important when these are all viable individuals that you could have bought into actually winning the Royal Rumble. So I don't know.
As Nia Jax would then throw out a plethora of top names all at once. In fact, this spot could have been even much worse, as Fightful reported that the spot was supposed to see Nia Jax throw even more wrestlers out. A Flair's Rumble win would receive significant backlash from fans, as although the live crowd in the stadium weren't exactly booing, it's not like they were going crazy with positivity. The online reaction, particularly on YouTube, was insanely negative, with WWE's upload of Charlotte Flair's win having a total of 37,000 dislikes and counting. Hell, even any mention of Charlotte Flair winning the Rumble on WWE's YouTube channel just gets a ton of dislikes, actually more dislikes than likes itself. So why did WWE pull the trigger, and what was Papa H's reasoning? Triple H's reasoning for Flair getting the big win. It's clear that Triple H wanted to re-establish Flair, and he was of the belief that the Rumble win was the easiest way to achieve this. One of the main arguments against this will be the fact that Flair is already established.
Yeah.
Flair has won titles left, right, and center, and she's even a former Rumble winner from 2020. And it could certainly be argued that Flair is one of the names on the women's roster that really did not need re-establishing.
Yeah.
Flair losing the Rumble match and entering the Chamber would have been way more compelling. WWE are telling a similar story with John Cena.
Bro, I think we all have been saying this. You could have just put her in an elimination chamber. If you wanted her to win, people probably still would have felt some type of way, but it would have been different. It's like, all right, cool. She wins the elimination chamber. She gets her moment at WrestleMania. Whatever. I don't think anyone thought she wasn't going to have a title match at WrestleMania, but having her win the Royal Rumble, in my opinion, for someone that's already solidified, I don't think she needed it. That's my only thing. I don't have a problem with her main eventing WrestleMania or having a championship match, a title match at WrestleMania. Cool. Go for it. I think she's going to have a great match with whoever she picks. But come on now. Does she need to win the Royal Rumble to establish that she's already one of the greatest women's wrestling champions of all time? Like, or just one of the greatest women wrestlers of all time? No. She already has the accolade. So I don't know, man.
Cena right now on television, and although there were a strong portion of fans who wanted Cena to win the matchup, it's easy to see why WWE are going in the direction they are. It looks like Flair versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's title is the plan for WrestleMania 41, and it appears that WWE's booking of Flair to win the Rumble was just the easiest way to get to that matchup. Now, in terms of an Io Sky win, it would have generated more buzz and excitement, especially as the audience always likes to see talent who have never won the Rumble before get the W. Even if WWE didn't want to proceed with Sky, they could have delivered a major shakeup by having a newer talent such as Roxanne Perez or even Jordynne Grace win the matchup. Triple H's booking of the women's division has been a common complaint during his time running WWE Creative, and the 2025 Women's Rumble would have acted as the perfect opportunity to deter any criticism and show the world that he cares about women's wrestling. Now, the Women's Rumbles have been a mixed bag over the years, and one of the most criticized winners before 2025 was 2020, ironically when Flair last won the match. In a bizarre move, this was the year in which WWE decided to have Flair challenge for the NXT Women's title, and this was even teased again on Raw. Cue the UF'd up chants now. Both Rumble wins for Flair and Jey Uso respectively received online backlash, but when it came to Jey's, the backlash and resentment was strictly online and didn't carry over to WWE television. But the same couldn't be said for Flair, as Flair would come to the ring on Raw and deliver a passionate babyface promo, and the fans could see right through it.
They didn't care.
Fans instantly rejected this babyface version of Flair, and she was booed heavily. The promo became the talking point on social media, and it was a sign that this babyface story for Flair was off to a disastrous start. In that promo on Raw, WWE would have Flair get interrupted by Ripley, and due to Ripley's popularity, it appeared that she was there to save the segment from being a total car crash. But in reality, it showed the difference between the two supposedly babyface characters, as Ripley is authentically over with the audience, whereas Flair is a babyface simply because WWE is telling the audience that she's now a heroic figure. Using Ripley in this segment was a huge risk, and it may have made more sense for Flair to be interrupted by a heel such as Liv Morgan or even Nia Jax. WWE has unintentionally set Flair up for failure, and they should have known that this approach was never going to work the way they intended. Flair's return was built on vignettes that presented Flair as a cocky heel, and with that Flair suddenly being presented as a babyface, there's a weird disconnect there.
Yeah, just keep her as a cocky heel. She comes back, she wins the Royal Rumble if that's what you want to do. Have people boo her. We know legitimately the struggle she probably went through to get back, to recover from injury. That's fine. But she's a cocky heel. Give her that, continue that going. That's what makes Charlotte Flair the best version of herself. When she's someone that great in the ring, family has lineage, she's a Flair. Like, come on now. Just have her be a cocky heel. And have her talk down to the other women wrestlers and have someone try to dethrone her and stop her. That's it.
There. It also doesn't help the fact that Flair has to face little to no resentment in reaching the top of WWE once again. Flair returned from her injury, was instantly labeled and marketed as a legendary wrestler, and then won the Rumble. So where's the adversity?
Yeah.
Where is the traditional babyface struggle that makes fans root and care about that specific wrestler? And time again, Flair's returned and instantly won the title. Heading into her return,
Yep.
one of the primary things fans wanted was a new lease of life when it came to her character. Whether Flair plays a heel or a babyface, it's practically the same exact character every single time, and fans wanted something new and bold. Becky Lynch realized this a few years ago, as she knows she couldn't stay the same character forever, and she's gone between the Last Kicker, the Man, and Big Time Bex, all of which are vastly different and each have their own motivations and characteristics. WrestleMania awaits, and now that Flair has won the Rumble, her feud with Stratton will begin to take shape in the coming weeks and months. The upcoming feud puts WWE in a very difficult position, as Flair's babyface run is already a total failure, and with Stratton being incredibly popular as a heel, the fans are going to reject the wrestlers, particularly Flair in their current form. The best thing WWE could do is book a double turn and have Flair go into WrestleMania as the heel and have Stratton enter the match as a beloved babyface.
Yeah.
And there has been an idea floating around online of WWE delivering the double turn at WrestleMania and in the match itself. This has been done before at WrestleMania, most notably Bret Hart vs Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13. The issue with this is that WrestleMania is still months away, and the crowd resenting the build will damage the anticipation for the matchup. The match itself on paper sounds incredible and should in theory act as a natural passing of the torch moment from Flair to Stratton. However, for this to happen, WWE have to master the presentation of both wrestlers and realize that the current incarnation of Flair just isn't working.
To be honest with you, I don't even think Tiffany will win. That's the crazy thing. I think if Flair is going to have a match with her, I have a suspicion Flair's going to win. I just do. I just do. They gave her the Rumble, not to say that she can't lose at Mania. I just have a feeling that she's most likely probably going to win that match, bro. I'm just being dead ass.
Elsewhere on the WrestleMania card for the women, Io Sky vs Ripley seems likely. An Elimination Chamber will probably decide who faces Ripley on the grand stage. Interestingly, WWE have gone down the route of Sky failing to qualify for the Chamber, and there will potentially be a last chance type matchup that will allow Sky to enter. This is the exact type of adversity and drama that makes babyfaces over with the audience. Sky is having to go through hell to get to WrestleMania, and when the end product is her in a title match on the grand stage, it makes it even more endearing to the audience. This is the exact route WWE should have taken with Flair, but instead they decided to hand her everything on a silver platter. Now there are other names such as Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss all expected to be on the card in some capacity. When it comes to Lynch, she was rumored to return at the Rumble, but obviously that didn't go down, and Belair will still likely be involved in a tag team partnership with Naomi, whereas Morgan and Bliss may face off in a singles matchup, but that's unless WWE decide to include the two in a faction warfare match between the Judgment Day and the Wyatt Six. Now the real issue. Now some fans may question why Flair winning the Rumble is such a big deal, and why it's been so negatively received at both online and on Raw this week. Ultimately, what it shows is Triple H's lack of focus and care when it comes to the division itself. The game took the easy way out with the Women's Rumble, and now this is the result. The fans have already turned on the Rumble winner, and she's only delivered one single promo.
And here's the thing. Triple H got to get some criticism here, because this was not, in my opinion and a lot of people's opinions, the best decision, how they went about it. So yeah, he definitely deserves some criticism. There's no perfect show, no perfect scenario. I know there's some people that don't have a problem with it, and that's fine. I just think there's other ways you could have got her to have a WrestleMania match. The Royal Rumble's not one of them. You could have gone with that route of, damn, if you wanted to keep her a babyface, it would have been a shocking moment that she got eliminated. It would have been refreshing to see her actually have to struggle to overcome something. I can buy into that a little bit more than if you really, really wanted to. Because I still think Tiffany would have been more over than Charlotte. You could have did something where Tiffany is downing her and telling her, you're washed up, you're not the GOAT no more. Whatever. You could have did something, and that probably would have been interesting. Maybe Charlotte would have actually gotten some sympathy. But instead, you just have her come out there and win it. It it deflates everything that you could have possibly done with Tiffany and Charlotte. Not to say it can't be a great feud leading up, and hopefully it does, but as it stands now, most people are going to be on Tiffany's side in relation to Charlotte. So
Triple H loves long-term plans and character arcs, yet when he attempts to do this with the women, they've been vastly underwhelming. The extended feud between Ripley and Morgan in 2024 received universal disdain from the fans, and it heavily damaged both of their respective characters. Frankly, because it went on longer than it should have. Triple H should have had a compelling roadmap ahead for the women's division for WrestleMania 41, as outside of some potentially compelling character work from Io Sky, it doesn't look like this is going to be present this year on the road to WrestleMania 41. What do you guys think? Have WWE just killed off
And here's the thing. If you guys remember that match, I think WrestleMania 39 with Rhea and Charlotte, that build was not good. No one really cares about the build. No one even really remembers the build. It was boring and kind of lackluster. But guess what? The match was fucking fantastic. That match was great. If the Usos versus Sammy and Kevin Owens didn't happen at that night one's main event, that would have main evented. That shit was so good. And hopefully we don't get a repeat of that. I hope we don't, with Tiffany and Charlotte, the feud just kind of being meh, like the build up, but the match actually being pretty good. I'm all down for the match being good, but you want a compelling story. And I think honestly, if I'm them, I wouldn't have Tiffany outwardly just be a baby face, but more of a tweener in a sense, because she's going against Charlotte. And I like that she made the points on Friday, talking about, well, everyone calls me a Charlotte clone. I'm not a Charlotte clone. I'm Tiffany, and trying to make a name for herself to solidify herself, and just have Charlotte say, nah, you're just another person that I'm going to beat to become, I believe she'll be a 15-time world champion. Build that up. Hell, build it up like, hey, I'm coming for John Cena title reigns. Like, do something like that to the point where people are just trying to boo her outright and prop up Tiffany, and you kind of go from there. Because in a sense, even though Tiffany's the champ, we know the machine is behind Charlotte. So to be honest with you, Tiffany going into WrestleMania, going against Charlotte, she's kind of the underdog, and she's the champion. And you can play up to that fact that Charlotte, even though she has lost at WrestleMania, she has a pretty good record at WrestleMania. She's beaten some great people. So I don't know. They can salvage it. It's just they gotta commit to Charlotte being a heel. Not this. She kind of is a heel, but kind of is. No, have her be what she is. Her last namesake, a Flair, cocky, braggadocious, can back it up in the ring, and have her do that. I think that'll be fine. So comment down below, let me know, how do y'all feel about this whole Charlotte situation and the feud that they're going to try to build up with Tiffany Stratton most likely going forward? And would you have Charlotte win the match at WrestleMania, or would you have Tiffany win the match at WrestleMania? Y'all let me know, because there are some Charlotte fans out there that want her to win another title. So, but let me know down below. I appreciate all the love, support. Road to 150K. Appreciate y'all kicking it with me. See you on the next one. Peace.